We also expect to hold around 10 bilateral meetings on the side, no? With 10 countries. Belgium, he will call on the King of Belgium. And this is important kasi we will be marking the 76th year of the diplomatic relations between the Philippines and Belgium. And at the same time, this intends to expand cooperation between this country, our country, and Belgium in terms of agricultural cooperation and renewable energy. He will also have a bilateral meeting with Estonia in which we can discuss cyber cooperation and a pending extradition treaty. And then with the Czech Republic, with which we will be celebrating the 50th year of our diplomatic relations. Czech Republic is also important because we have defense cooperation with the Czech Republic, and there are also proposed technology transfers in the realm of defense. Now, he will also have bilateral meetings with Spain, which is again important because they will be the EU Council President at the second half of next year in 2023. And then Spain has just acceded to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation of ASEAN. Dapat sana nga pipirmahan na during the last summit, no? Kaya lang dinelay muna, no? But the signing will come. Then we have defense cooperation with Spain also, from which we also purchase some heavy lift air transports. Then further bilateral meetings will be held with Denmark, with which we will also celebrate the 75th years of bilateral cooperation. And Denmark is important because we have maritime cooperation with Denmark, as well as shipbuilding cooperation. In fact, there is a shipbuilding facility in Cebu. The Austral Philippines recently produced a passenger ferry for the Philippines from Cebu. Then other bilateral meetings will be held with Germany, Poland, Finland, the Netherlands, and of course the European Union. With the European Union, it's important because they are a partner as co-coordinators in the ASEAN-EU commemorative summit. So mag-uusap yan about the preparations and the way forward for ASEAN-EU relations as well as Philippines-EU relations, including the way forward for the pending Philippine-EU free trade agreement. The trip will last from 12 December to 14 December. The summit proper itself will be on the 14th, and this is what is expected of the President. This is very important for the Philippines and for the President because the Philippines is currently the country coordinator of ASEAN in its relations with the European Union. For 2 more years, we will be the country coordinator. So we were instrumental, of course, in cooperation with the European Union and the other members of ASEAN in preparing for this summit. We led ASEAN in the preparations for this summit. So the role of the President is very important in this regard. Now, the summit proper will be on December 14. The President will speak on several occasions. During the plenary of the summit proper itself, of the commemorative summit, is one of the officials, the leaders of ASEAN and EU, who will deliver the opening remarks. After that, he will be giving an omnibus intervention as a country head of the delegate of the Republic of the Philippines. Then after that, at the closing ceremony, he's also expected to be one of the officials who will give the closing remarks. And in fact, at this right after that, even at the press conference, he will be one of the ASEAN and EU officials to participate in the press conference. Apat lang sila doon sa press conference, but the President will be one of them. But this trip will not only focus on ASEAN-EU relations. Sa kinagabihan, merong gala dinner, etong ASEAN-EU summit. But earlier in the day, in the first half of the day of the 14th, meron ding meeting si Presidente with the business community. In fact, there will be one-on-one meetings with big corporations who will be expanding their presence in the Philippines. That means more investments and more jobs for us Filipinos. And then there will be a business roundtable with EU and European corporations, during which the President will have the opportunity to expound on our trade and investment policies to attract more, of course, trade and investments from Europe. Then, kasama din dito yung networking among Filipino businessmen and European businessmen. Hopefully, for this networking, the Filipino businessmen will be able to come up with deals with their European counterparts. There will also be a meeting with the Filipino community on December 12, 2022. So, now on the 13th of December, there will be further meeting with the business sector, but this time with ASEAN and EU themselves within the framework of the ASEAN-EU dialogue partnership relations. No? So the President on December 13, noontime, will participate at the C-suite or the CEO suite luncheon for the EU-ASEAN Business Summit, where he is expected to speak. And then at the same time, he will also participate in the 10th ASEAN-EU Business Summit proper itself, where again, he will be expected to deliver his remarks. So this will be a very busy trip for the President, and we hope that this will redound to a lot of benefits for the Filipino people, not only for ASEAN.